Today I want to talk about achieving color. Achieving color from our original artwork sometimes is difficult, especially if you're using vibrant colors that are found often in gouache paints. For example, I use this neon pink here to paint these flowers, and when I take it into the computer, a whole nother thing happens. So normally I scan my artwork to get a higher resolution, but let me show you what's going on here with this. So I have this vibrant pink in my flowers, and I have two different types of input sources here. One is a scan over here on the left, and one is a photograph over here on the right. The top two right here, these are my originals, and these two have already been converted into vectors using image trace. So going back to the original here, I want to talk about what we're seeing and why this difference in color is happening. So the great thing about the scan is it gives me a really nice white crisp background, but I am definitely losing my pinks. You can see that this neon pink has almost ghosted out. And the reason why this is happening is because the original pigments that are used in creating this paint have a reflective quality. That's what makes them almost glow to our eye when we use the original paints. So what's happening is the scanner has a bar of light that it's moving across this image, and this bar of light is reflecting directly onto the paper. And what's happening is when it's hitting this paint, those pigments are reflecting so much that it's ghosting out the flower shapes, and we're losing our color because the reflective quality of this paint. So a solution to that, to get closer to your original color, is to take a picture. Now, I just took this on my desk in my office. I probably could have done a little better lighting to blow the cream out to white a little bit, but I'm not too concerned about that because my original color input doesn't really matter. What's going to happen here is we have two things happening. We need to be concerned with our on-screen color and then our printed color. So I look at color as perceived color. So for example, my on-screen color here, I'm just going to draw a swatch, and I'm going to use the eyedropper tool, and that's kind of one of the pinks in here. But you can see it looks a little dull still compared to the original painting that we had. Well, if I was printing this, I could actually specify a Pantone fluorescent ink and actually achieve a fluorescent color, and I'll know exactly what pink I'm going to get. But for on screen, you just need to approximate and get a better color using your color tools to make it perceived to be fluorescent or bright or neon. So I usually like to work in a RGB color spectrum because you have more vivid, it has a broader spectrum of color, so you can often get some brighter tones for the screen. And you'll just mimic your fluorescent until you get it where you want. So I just want to talk about color really quick and some issues you might be having, because we all have these issues, and how you can maybe work around them. I'm going to now just go ahead and proceed with making my pattern. All these are vectors already, so I'm just going to go and delete all the objects that I don't need, my background shapes. I'm going to select this. I'm going to use my magic select same color and get rid of all these same colors at once. Got rid of all that. Let's get rid of all our blacks. Oops, that was the wrong color. Got rid of our greens. Let's get rid of all our blacks. Get rid of this bar. Alright, so now I'm going to click out on my mask. So now we start to have our two new color shapes here to work with. And I basically can work with either one that I want here. You could see a little bit of a difference if you look at these flowers down here compared to these flowers over here. On this scan, I'm actually losing some of the detail in the edges of the flowers. So let's take a closer look. So here I lost some detail. Let's go look over at this one. Here you can see I have a stronger shape in my flower. And here again, we lost some of the detail here because it got blown out because of the pigments. So that's why you would want to take into account some of the ways you input your art. I hope that helps, and happy pattern making!